Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Marketing Matters. I'm Sarah Touchstone with Landmark Title, and this is our weekly webinar where we bring you the best in the business when it comes to marketing real estate business, whether it's our business development management team who specializes in helping real estate agents with their marketing, industry partners who do this for a living, or top producing agents that are out in the field utilizing marketing every single day. Today, we are joined with Fred Delgado of the Delgado Group. Fred runs an amazing real estate team, and this has kind of almost been a focal point for us the last month or so is real estate teams. There's always a lot of interesting ideas that come out of real estate teams when it comes to marketing, because these team leaders, usually they've been in the business, they know what works, what doesn't work, and they have the experience to share when it comes to marketing real estate businesses. So Fred, we're really excited to have you on today. You have screen sharing abilities, so take it away.
This is fantastic. So, just to get an idea, are we able to see the chat, Sarah? So just to get an idea from our guests, anybody that's been in the business for 5 years or less, can you either raise your hand or tell us if you've been in the business for 5 years or less so that I understand that? Thank you.
We got a few hands raised.
Thank you. Thank you. That's great. Please provide. This will help me understand how to help you best in this time. Thank you, KW, Amy. This is great feedback.
Yeah, we've got quite a few hand raised and
very good. The next question is, and this is important, do any of you currently have a team? So please raise your hand or let me know. Nope. Good to know. Good to know. Very good. This helps me quite a bit as well. So a little bit about me. Let's start with that first. Let me share right now my screen so you guys get a little bit of information as to who I am. Let's see. This will stop the screen sharing. So let's see. Screen share. It's not letting me. This will stop other screen sharing.
Yeah, you can stop my screen sharing.
Okay, so perfect. There we go. Here we go. Come on, it's coming.
There we go.
Very good.
Perfect.
So let me see if I can move this to the bottom as well. Come on. It's not letting me bring it down, but let me try this. Sorry, guys. Oh, here we go. Okay, here we go. Not where it is. Nope. I am so sorry.
Got it.
Here we go. We got
technology. Okay. We wear many hats in the real estate industry. Technology expert is one, but some,
And I appreciate everybody here. So a little bit about me, just so that you get an idea. So here's my story, and everybody's story is different. And as you get into this business, it's important to understand what's important to you and what you value so that you know then how to guide the team that you decide to develop or the team that you currently have, which direction you would like to go. My background, a little bit about me is I have a bachelor's in science. I'm a mechanical engineer by trade. And also I have a master's degree in business. I have a GRE. In that case, basically you see all the certifications. GRI, you see all the certifications at the bottom. My initial goal when I first started in the industry was to learn as much as I could about real estate. And keep in mind, I started in this industry in the end of 2006, the beginning of 2007. That is, if you guys remember, some of you have been long enough, that is when the market in the real estate industry took a dive. Literally the first 4 transactions I had under contract when I first joined the real estate world and the real estate industry, all 4 fell apart because the banks shut down. So for me, it was a wake-up call at the moment to decide, do I go back to corporate America? And I had an incredible job. I was vice president of operations for a very large top 100 company in the country and actually in the world. So for me, it was a big transition from going from that world to me, what was my passion, which was deal with clients, deal with teams, and manage individuals. Now, even though I'm an engineer, as you see, I have a soul, I have a personality, I have personal skills, and which is everybody does. However, we just choose to bring them out or not. And I will share with you, when I first came into the industry of real estate, my passion and my goal was I knew what corporate America was like, and I wanted to change that in the world that I was in. So when I came to the real estate world, and yes, my first 4 transactions fell apart, that was a big pivoting and turning point for me. Every one of us have a turning point and a pivoting point, especially in this industry, because there is such a fallout rate. You come to a point where you decide, is this what you would like to do for a living or not? I think it's important that you reach in and understand if this is your passion. As you can see it on the top of my slogan is loyalty, passion, and results. If this is your passion, please move forward and drive the bus. Now, when I started, it was myself. Now, I had to make a decision whether to stay in the business or go back to the corporate world because the real estate market was completely changing. It went from a traditional market to a short sale market, then to a foreclosure market. We didn't end that until about 2012. During that time, they were the most challenging times personally, where I decided that I was going to learn everything there needed to be learned on short sales. So that became my niche, my go-to, my idea of what I wanted to focus on in real estate. You at this point decide which direction you would like to go on, what product niche you would like to sell or you would like to work with. So is it teachers? Is it firemen? Is it nurses? Is it investors? Is it, wholesalers? It's important that you understand what you're going to focus on and drive that, so that you're not the, what they call it, man of all trades and really do nothing or be an expert. At the time, I became an expert in short sales. I truly understood that. Now, when it comes to short sales, there's a bit of a challenge with that. There was nothing short about it. And so what that does is, for us, is I learned that a transaction could last between 2 months to a year before you actually close and got paid. So for me, I had to learn quickly that that was important for me to do volume, do as many as I could, so that I could actually create income, because it was so lengthy. Now, what happened as I became an expert, I actually, let me see if I can click to the next slide. The person on the top right, her name is Yolanda Bizarro. She was my initial first hire. She's been with me now for 13 years, almost 14. Now, what ended up happening, I learned that for me to be able to grow, because I could not be involved in all the paperwork that short sales required, I had to find some help. And my first help, because my phone was ringing, was who can help me with the paperwork, the administrative, and allow me to be the person out there bringing in the business. Now, I was completely bogged down with paperwork because banks were requiring documentation, a lot of it, that my first initial hire, and you can start with a part-time hiree. You can do part-time, you can do full-time. If you're at a level where you can no longer bring in business because you are the person that is the busiest doing paperwork, that is not the best use of your time. For me, the best use of my time to be in front of people so that I could grow the business. It is also important that you understand what kind of person you are hiring. So for me to bring in Yolanda, it was life-saving. She came in and took over all of the transactional side of the business. She was my administrative assistant at the time, and allowed me to be out in the field generating more business. When it got to a point that even then, once I went out to the field and got so busy with buyers, and sellers as well, then I could no longer help new clients. It was important for me then to get more help. That is when I went out and hired a buyer agent. But that was also life-saving for me to bring in that support, because that really freed me more time to focus on listings while I had somebody focusing with the buyers, and Yolanda taking care of all the transactions when it came to the listings and the buyers. It wasn't me, it was her, and her customer service was and is still delightful. As we grew, we then needed marketing, because marketing, at some point you have to decide, who do you use? Do you use your title company to support you and where you need to go to market, whether it's a farm, whether it's to connect with old clients, whether it's to create any type of material. And I will tell you that when I first started, my newsletter was a format, a one pager from both sides that was provided to me by my title agency, in a sense of a format. I filled in the content in some of it. And that is why, because I was doing the newsletters, that wasn't the best use of my time. I chose to hire out a marketing individual part-time first to help me out with my newsletters and then my flyers. So with that said, our business starting to continue to grow. Come, I would say, what are we on, 2021? Come 2016, we went through a major transformation. We had a full-time marketing individual, which is Judy. You see her in the picture. And Judy has been an incredible source of, if you're on my social media, which is Fred Delgado team on Facebook and Fred Delgado Real Estate Group, Instagram as well, you see the content that she has created. And for me, I'm not, if you know the disc, I'm a very high D, high C. So that medium or source requires the I personality. She's very good at driving that out of me, which is the influencer, we'll call it that. And she showcases the team. She took this picture. She showcases the team in the most beautiful professional way. So marketing became my next hire. When marketing started doing her job, which was generate leads, they're just coming in. At that point, and this person isn't here, the next level was an ops manager, operations manager. This individual is coming in to set up systems in place so that our leads do not get lost. And also there's a nurturing system in place so that our agents continuously have a source of leads. Now, right now, my team is the Fred Delgado Group, which is myself, and then I have marketing, I have operations, and then sales. So those are the sources of, you call it the org chart that we've created that support our entire clientele. Now, a little bit, let me skip this. That was a testimonial. But what I'll say is, with marketing, you have to get creative and innovative as well. So for us, we provide, in this case, when COVID hit last year, everybody thought that the market would slow down and would be it would actually, there were fear that we would go back to 2006, 2007. My assumption was this was not I would say a financial crash. It was more of a health crisis. And because people had to either be home or work from home, we realized that we had to pivot, we had to change, we had to create new systems so that our customer base, our clients, will continue to buy and we would continue to sell in the most innovative way. So we ended up implementing or creating VR headsets, virtual headsets for virtual tours, and we sent them to our clients or anybody that wanted them. All of our listings were put in a 3D tour, which is a virtual tour of 3D version, where anybody and anyone could get our VR headsets, put their phone in, and walk into any of our listings or any of the listings that are being provided out there with a Matterport system, which is the 3D virtual set. So that created a bit of buzz with our base because we did pivot and people didn't have to go into the properties themselves. Sellers did not need showings of guests when we were in the middle of COVID, where they could actually see the home without being in it. And we were selling homes, believe it or not, without people walking into them. So that was a fantastic source. Now, We talk about loyalty. When I talk about my team, I focus on creating a team that provides a full service to our client base. And that includes we create a great marketing plan for our clients, staging services, mega open houses, social media, and tremendous exposure. So for those of you that are starting a team, you don't have to start with a big group. You could do this at your level and start developing that as you grow. Trust me, just begin. And the biggest item is that fear of starting to do it. The moment you begin is when things start to flourish. As things get big because you took that leap of faith to implement whatever system that you needed, whether it's marketing, whether it's lead generation, whether it's even a farm. As the phone calls start coming in and you feel that you can't take it anymore, that's your moment, that's your time to get help and hire somebody else. So these are just a few of our members. We talk about passion. You as a team leader or as an individual looking to grow your team, and there's 3 more agents that we've added to our team that are not on this picture, on this slide. However, we'll be adding them. Know that it's important that you focus on developing your team members, your buyer agents or listing agents, so that they provide not just great service to your clients, but exquisite. Keep in mind that they represent your brand. So have you decided what your brand is? Have you decided what that's going to be and what you represent? So as you bring in your team members, make sure that they do follow your mission for your team, for your company, and then drive that. They represent the brand. They represent you. And at the same time, I say to my team, I'm Fred Delgado. Yes, the name of the team is Fred Delgado Real Estate Group with Keller Williams. However, it's just a brand. I work for that brand just as they do. So as you bring in your team members, make sure that it's important that they represent the brand, that you are not creating a bunch of little brands of themselves within one brand. So right now, those of you that are individual agents, either it's time to step up and grow because of your business growing, or if you are a team member, if you have a team already, keep in mind that in this industry, a team is can take on more leads, more clients, more transactions, because in numbers, you can provide better value and better service. I'm not saying that as an individual agent, you cannot do that. I'm just saying economies of scale. If you want to help 2, 3 clients a month, that's fantastic. If you want to help 10, 20 clients a month, that requires a different type of organization for you to provide an exquisite service to them as you go. So results. Here's who we are and where we're at. You know, we've been in the business since 2006, as I mentioned, and I had to hats off to my entire team, because without them, we wouldn't be where we're at. Now, we've been top 10 real estate agents in the state of Arizona since 2018, 2019, and we were nominated in 2020. However, we ended up getting the top award for Good Year in 2020. We've done over 1,000 transactions through the entire valley. I've been lucky enough and blessed enough to have team members in different parts of the valley where we can manage the entire Phoenix Metro Valley. Now, sales volume over 300 million, that's in sales. We've been #1 for the Southwest region in Keller Williams for 2016, 2017, and we've been named one of the top teams in the Wall Street Journal in 2016. So know that this requires time and dedication. My story, and I'll share with you guys, I don't ask that you do this, but my story is that for the first 3 years of my career in real estate, I didn't have a day off. All I did was grind, work. But it comes a point where you decide that that can't be sustained. You know, we can't sustain that. And I'm going to skip a couple of slides here. Sorry, but I wanted to share something. Reviews, we talked about that in the past, but that cannot be sustained. You can only do it so long before you decide you're going to pass out. So in that sense, bringing in a team, I made a choice. I either have to bring in a team or scale back significantly in the clientele that I serve. I didn't want to slow down and only serve a few amount of clients. That was my like, that was my want, my need. Yours could be different. You need to understand what works best for you. I wanted to help as many clients live out their dreams as possible. And to me, with the team that we've come and connected and created, we've been able to successfully do that, and we continue to do so. So hopefully this helps a little bit. And if I have missed something, I am open to questions.
Yes, we do have time for questions. If anybody has any, Fred, I have one for you. If anybody has any, put them up in the chat or the Q&A. You have a lot of buying specialists on your team.
Yes.
How do you go about hiring specific buyer's agents?
So that's a wonderful question, Sarah. Please know that in my team, even though they're called buyer's agents, they have the ability to do listings. So most of my buyer's agents also have and do capture listings. When they're out with a buyer, they learn that also they need to sell. And in general, I'm the listing agent for the team. However, I've never limited any of my team members to bring and use their skills and develop and grow. So everyone in my team has the option and the ability to take on listings.
Nice. We've got another question. How and where did you hire your team from? And did they have any experience, or do you train them from the ground up?
That's a wonderful question. So here's my first hire, which was Yolanda. Okay. My idea was she is the front. Because she was on the phone with all my clients, she had to provide excellent customer service. I happened to be in an office where she was working, and I saw her ability to communicate with me and with people on the phone, and I was able to make an offer. And guess what? She found more value, we'll call it that, in this position than where she was. And what I'd like to say to the group is because of my background, and I'm lucky I have that background in operations in corporate America, I'm able to create an environment that is very conducive, very, very connected for team members, so that it's not just about the client, it's about the company, the business, the team. So I don't just focus on us serving our clients. My clients are my team members as well. And so my goal is to make sure that I provide an incredible working environment, as supportive as it can be, but also there's opportunity for growth. So first, you can go anywhere, a restaurant, your waitress, your waiter, your bartender, anybody that does customer service is an excellent source for you to meet, question, and see if they fit your culture and your working style, and then bring them on board.
Excellent, excellent. Got another question. A lot of people with questions for you, Fred.
I love it. Thank you.
Awesome. From this one is going to be obviously from a team leader perspective, but as a single agent, how or when do you decide to join a team or continue being a single independent agent?
That's a beautiful question. And I say that because the industry, the real estate industry, is shifting from an individual agent to a team-focused customer service group. As an individual agent, please keep in mind that in today's clientele, the market out there, the clients, they're looking for immediate response, immediate feedback. They want to connect. And as an individual agent, the challenge that I found is when I was out as a buyer agent and showing properties to my clients, and my current client was calling me for a question or an update, and I was with my clients showing homes, I could not answer that call. I could not be there for them. And if my showings took 2-3 hours, that meant that I was not answering my clients' requests. And by the time I did, they were either a little bit annoyed or not happy. So as an individual agent, the market is shifting to immediate satisfaction, immediate response. Right now in my team, we have our business phone number that people call in, and there are 3 people answering that call. So if one is busy and the phone rings, there's a second person. If that person's on the phone as well, there's a third person. So know that for us, response to clients has been critical and important. And know that as an individual agent, know that the demands are a lot. And if you can't meet those demands, you may end up losing a client. So The option may be, if you've been a single agent and are not able to generate the traction that you're wanting, maybe join a team and understand how and be trained on how the system works, and also the ability to connect and learn the scripts and communicate with clients. And then eventually you may go on your own. But my advice is, so that you can create a solid base of clients, maybe potentially join a team for a short period of time.
Yeah, Fred, I think you really hit the nail on the head with that, the response time right now, because the market is so hot. Houses are flying off the shelf. By the time you show your clients a house and they're driving home and you're driving home, there's already 10 other offers, on the table. So that is one of the, I think, the best things that teams offer right now is that support and that just staying on top of things and that quick communication.
May I add something to that as well, Sarah? Being part of a team, and the way I share with my team members, my sales force, my sales team is, if the reason why we have a transaction person, a marketing person, an operations person, a systems person, is so that all of that is taken off your plate and you focus on your best skill, which is write contracts, show homes, write contracts, negotiate. So what we've done is, by being in a team, we've taken off all of the extra work that requires a lot of time. However, your best skill is connecting with your clients. Focus on them, focus on providing them the most amazing experience, because that's where you win. The paperwork side that's not the best use of your time. The writing, a newsletter, that's not the best use of time. So understand that I've been through that, learned that, and it took a lot of 3 years of work without a day off. I could have saved myself a lot of time if I would have just had some of this information. A lot of this could be outsourced. At the beginning, they say, we as agents have no money but a lot of time. So yes, you may do a lot yourself, but as you start growing, you get more money and you have less time. So the commodity of time becomes extremely important. So what I would say is, as your time constraints begin, it's when you need to start either hiring or outsourcing a lot of the things that you're currently doing when you get time.
Yeah, I love that. I love the time and money analogy. But that's so true in our industry. You either have time or you have money.
And that's the issue. So for me, it's been fantastic to be able to get all that support to free up some of that time.
Yeah. Well, and I think one of the underrated things in this industry too is that not everybody in the real estate industry sells real estate. And there's a lot of roles that a lot of you team leaders really utilize, and skill sets that you utilize to help fill in a lot of those gaps, because real estate agents, an individual agent, you're wearing a lot of hats. And whereas somebody might not be great at sales, they might be great at real estate marketing. And it's amazing when you can bring those people all together and they just enhance you so much.
Here's what I would share with individuals that are, online. Whatever you can automate, systematize, make it efficient, free you a little bit of time, every bit of it counts, because over time it adds up. So whatever you can do to automate your marketing plans, your marketing systems, your mailers, whatever it is that you have, if you can make that automatic and free you up, that's fantastic. Remember that when you hire somebody, that is payroll. You have to pay by the hour or a salary. You have to pay taxes. You have to have an office. You have to buy equipment for them, computers. So it does cost. So be very, I would say, strategic as to when you are ready to bring a human being, an employee on board, when you can actually outsource a lot of that and not incur a lot of that burden cost.
Absolutely. A couple more questions. How did you start your team meetings with your team? Are they weekly, monthly? Do you have a meeting agenda that you discuss?
That's a great question as well. So our team meets every Tuesday. So what we've done, of course, when COVID hit, everybody was in their homes and we went through Zoom just like we are now. However, it was important for us to keep our culture, to keep our connection, to keep our environment, where we've gone hybrid. What we've done is we have one meeting, one week is online, Zoom, or we have Teams, or the next meeting is actually in person. So we're alternating where every other week we are in person and every other week we are online. That gives a lot of freedom for people still to use their time best, but at the same time, when we're in person, it has a dramatic energy impact and cooperation between team members that you may not have via Zoom.
Nice. And then I think we've got one more question. This is a really great one.
Sorry, Sarah, hold on. I'm sorry, but I think somebody asked, do we have an agenda? Yes, we do.
Oh,
There's
yes.
an agenda that we follow every meeting and everybody gets a copy of it, and we review transactions as well. So yes.
Nice. Yeah, that helps keep focus.
Absolutely.
Into the meeting, because we're in real estate. You get us in a room together and we all get to talking about real estate. I mean, this could be a 12-hour meeting.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So the last question is, in regards to your marketing structure, hold on. In a team, you have a lot of different personalities. How do you make sure it shows cohesion?
That's important, important for you as a team leader. Remember, you are the you're the one that hires. So it's important for people to understand what culture, what environment they are coming into as you do your interview process so that it fits them. One of the things I do, depending on the positions, of course, we do a lot of, if you're not familiar with the DISC assessment, I highly recommend that you do. You need to understand as a leader what positions you have and what DISC side you need. Example, just to give you an example. If you have a transaction coordinator position available that needs to be filled and you do a DISC profile, I'm sorry to say, but you do not put the I personality as a transaction coordinator. An I personality is your influencer, is your salesperson. So because, for example, in my case, my transaction coordinator, executive assistant, Yolanda, her profile is an SC. To me, an S personality is, of course, your nurturer, caring, loving, very, very loving to the clients. And as far as the C, she's a transaction coordinator. So basically, she makes sure that all the dots are, all the I's are dotted and the T's are crossed. So for her, that role was perfect. It would be very challenging to put a C personality, which is analytical personality, into the C into the sales role. So you as a team leader, as you put your hat on as an HR or manager, you need to understand what that role requires and put the right person in. At the same time, make sure that the culture fits of what you're looking for into your team. Yes, you may make a mistake as to who you hire. Here's what I've heard many people say: hire slow, fire fast. Now, that's not my style, but I will share with you that I take my time on hiring the individuals that are going to be on my team to make sure that we don't make that mistake.
I think that's a great point to bring up. I know a lot of people, as they're starting their teams, they're like, let me just hire anybody who wants to be on my team.
Big mistake.
But from experience that people on your team, it takes a lot of your time and resources to train them, to bring them on. And if they're not the right fit, then that's potentially money out of a team leader's pocket.
So here's what I will share with you guys. A bad hire over time will cost you almost $1 million in your lifetime. Okay, so here's what I will share with you. And I learned this early on, that a bad hire, people, when something goes wrong, when you hire the wrong person and that interaction with your client, something goes significantly wrong, they sometimes don't tell you, but they'll tell everybody else. And everybody else tells everybody else. So please understand that one bad hire can have a tremendous financial impact to your business. And so is the opposite. You hire the right person and it will multiply your business. So in this industry, it is said that you as an agent, if you keep one client happy, if you go out and deal with one of your clients and they are so satisfied with you, they are going to provide you over the lifetime of the client, 100,000 GCI. One by themselves or referrals. So know that every person you meet that becomes a client, it is a potential 100 GCI of earnings.
Awesome. That's Fred, I'm blown away. Like I said, I am particularly fond of having you team leaders come on to Marketing Matters because I think teams are just so strong right now. And what you're able to do for your agents and your clients, it shows and it speaks volumes for the business that we're in.
Absolutely.
So thank you so much for coming on today. This was really great information. We did have somebody wondering if you would be willing to share a copy of your team meeting agenda with us.
Absolutely, yes. So what I'll do is I'll send it to you, Sarah, and then you can distribute it. Absolutely.
That would be great. Well, I'm going to wrap up today. We've got a couple other great classes coming up. Let me go back. We have, once again, a full Marketing Matters schedule. Next week, we have Chris Weston with Benchmark Mortgage coming on, talking about dispelling VA loan myths. So if you're out there and you're working with some VA clients and everybody's telling you that VA is not strong and your clients aren't going to get what they're looking for because of their loans, you're going to want to check out next week because we're going to dispel some of those myths. Then we've got Patricia Kane coming on to talk about Canva. I love Canva. So we obviously have a great design department at Landmark Title to help you out with any of your marketing needs design-wise, but sometimes you just need that quick little marketing piece and you don't want to, explain what it is that you want and you need it instantly. That's when Canva comes in, and it's a really great resource for real estate agents to help create creative, eye-catching, thumb-stopping content with their marketing pieces. And then at the end of the month, we have Michelle Minnick with Team Minnick coming on to talk about investment properties. I know you guys are out there dealing with investors and you want to have as much information as possible on how you can help them make money with their investment properties. So that's our lineup in August. And then we've got FERPTA coming up on August 17th. This one's going to be on Zoom. It's at 1 p.m. So if you're interested in signing up for a FERPTA class, let us know. We'll get you registered for that one. And then we've got Tara coming in to do her famous Solar CE class. I call it famous because I think everybody, like, if they hear Solar CE, they're like, oh, is Tara teaching it? Oh, I'll be there. So this one is going to be in person. This is at On Q Financial Training Room, which is a very nice, large training room out in the West Valley in Glendale. This one is going to be Thursday, August 19th at 9 a.m. Once again, this is a CE class, but it's going to give you a tremendous amount of knowledge when it comes to solar. And then a super fun CE class on social media. Yes, it's not just information about real estate that you can get in a CE class. You can get information about marketing your real estate business. This one is also going to be in person. This is going to be over in Peoria on Wednesday, August 25th at 9 a.m. So if you would like to attend this one as well, this one's going to fill up. So I would highly recommend getting registered as soon as possible. Reach out to us and we would be happy to get you signed up. And as always, thank you to Fred. That was great information. I know even when we do these, and I hear you guys talking, all of a sudden I'm like, oh, we need a class for this and we need a class for that. And I'm over here brainstorming. I'm not even in the buying and the selling side of real estate. I'm in the support side of real estate. And when I hear somebody that's been in the business and is just out there doing amazing things with their business, I'm like, okay, it gives me even more ideas on how to help other people based on the way that you help your agents and your clients. So thank you so much for coming on today. And of course, thank you to our business development management team. Beth, Becky, Melinda, Mary, Eric out of Las Vegas, Zach, Patty, Michael, and Jessica. You guys are amazing. If you need anybody to help you with your marketing and your real estate business, look no further than these wonderful business development managers at Landmark Title.
Thank you
And
so
then,
much, Sarah. Appreciate you.
thank you, Fred. And as always, thank you to Landmark Title for allowing us to bring great guests on Marketing Matters like Fred. And if you need anything in the real estate and title industry, like closing your escrows, Landmark Title is happy to help. We have 6 offices across the valley. So wherever you're doing business in the Phoenix Metro, there's a Landmark Title office near you. And that's it, guys. We will see you next week.
Thank you.
Thank you, Fred. Have an awesome Wednesday.